Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Kentucky Route Zero, which over the last episode or two has given a new definition to Let's Play. Let's hope that this one turns out to be just a little bit less me talking to myself heavy, huh? Act 3. Let's have a look at it. We're getting through this thing at a remarkable speed. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be a very long series, but I have been surprised by how not very long it has turned out to be. Hey, that's actually... The muffled words there are actually the right words, I think. 83 and sunny now. Looks like it's going to get up to about 101 by late afternoon in Louisville and 103 in E-Town. Not a cloud in sight, so get out those parasols. Major accident just ahead of the Bardstown exit, so if you're headed to work on 31, you are late, my friend. Sugar? You know what? I think Conway takes his coffee pretty black. That's what Ira used to say. I had a dream about him last night. Yeah, I heard you yelling. Bad dreams? We were up on a roof, Ira and I and Charlie, eating a light supper. I was drinking sweet tea, and Charlie was reading. We were surrounded by other houses, closely packed, huge sidewalks, and it must have been a... what's that word? Subdivision? Yeah, that's it, I'm sure. Below us, a group of people were gathered, standing quietly, and a man was reading from a book. I asked Ira about the weather. Would it rain on Tuesday, or when would the sun set? Something like that. He wouldn't answer me. Charlie stood up, and Ira told him to watch his step, and then I remembered. But I woke up before I could stop him. You know, I always told him to test each tile with a heel first. It's a heel, you can kick it back and still put your toe on something solid when the tile slips. I remember your lessons. And he just wanted to study his... what was it called? Boy. It doesn't seem like going up on a roof would help you very much with aviation. Yeah, astronomy, that's it. How could I forget? It wasn't his fault. Well, it wasn't anyone's fault, Conway. That's what we mean when we say it's... an accident? Sure. Well, we have a mail order delivery today. Might be a long drive. Hope the truck can hold up. That truck will outlive us all. I hope you're right. I'm glad you'll keep it. Ira would have wanted you to have it. Been running since Charlie was born. Ira took me to the hospital in that truck. So did you once. Oh yeah, when you fainted. My hero. So, mail order. Yeah, maybe just a shut-in. I don't recognize the address. The order's all... I'm sure we can fill it. And I guess that'll be the last? I guess it will be. The last act of Lisette's Antiques. What's the word? How grim do we want to be here? It's a grim situation. I feel like Conway tries not to look things like that in the face as much as possible. Finale. Maybe. No, that's not the word. I just need to think a bit. More coffee or something. Or I've had too much. It'll come to you. Maybe. I'm not sure anymore. It seems inevitable there will start to be words that I lose forever. Hey, what are those boxes you set in the hallway? Those are Charlie's old books. Oh. Yeah, I thought we could look at them together. Yeah, that sounds nice. Cora should be here soon. Will you wait with me? Sure, Liz. I'll wait with you. You'd think Conway would be sensitive to the terror of what seems to maybe be dementia setting in. There's your traffic and weather on the 5s. That's every 10 minutes. Brought to you by the Consolidated Power Company. Stick around for Old Kentucky Home with Kate, helping you turn your humble home into a mansion after this. I gotta say, this is a theme in stories that I sometimes have a lot of trouble with. Dementia runs in my family, and I lost a very dearly beloved grandmother who was Wow. Okay, so not a memory so much as a dream, perhaps. Right, right, my mind was sort of wandering on account of the anesthesia. What might have been anesthesia. But yeah, dementia has not been good to me, so... I'm just kind of hoping the game doesn't delve too much into that. We can stick with the true monster was capitalism stuff. I'm strong on that one. But that's only if you make a late payment on a follow-up visit. I think everything went well enough here. They'll only want to bill for... Oh, he's awake. How do you feel, old man? All fixed up? Truman says you might be a bit misty coming out of it, so... Yeah, what time is it? It's been about 2 hours. What have you been doing? Well, we watched TV for a while, then Dr. Truman showed me some of the terms of this bill. It's kinda... You'll want to look it over yourself, I think. How about that leg? How's your leg feeling? Yeah, that's the important part. Conway shifts his leg a bit in the chair, testing it. Well... It sure doesn't feel like my leg. Let's maybe not slip back into the dream right in front of everybody for a whole bunch of reasons. You know, it seems better, but it wasn't worth it. Oh, come on. Of course it was worth it. You've got work to do, right? Your delivery? Your thoughts and feelings are probably still a little nebulous from the Neuropinol TM. That's totally normal. It'll pass. I wouldn't recommend driving, at least for another hour or two, regardless. Conway stares remotely at his leg. Let's talk about a few things you should be aware of. Recovery, rehabilitation, side effects. Yeah, how long am I going to be recovering? Well, at your age, I want to be clear. You should expect lingering effects of the injury for more or less the rest of your life. Don't immerse it fully in water, avoid extremes of temperature, and stay away from dusty roads and mountain lions as much as possible. Dusty roads? Yeah, dust can be pretty dangerous. If too much accumulates, you can expect some severe shocks. I didn't feel we needed to ask about mountain lions. It's pretty obvious why we would want to stay away from those. Best thing you can do is keep it clean and free of debris. Well, what do I clean it with? Only clean your leg with a soft cloth, moistened with water or isopropyl alcohol. Definitely want to avoid abrasive agents like detergents or other solvents. So, do you have any questions? Anything about the bill that didn't make sense? I mean, I don't mean to rush you, but I have an early fishing trip. Yeah, you want to tell him about the payment plan in the bill. Yeah, that's one of the atypical clauses. I don't really have any control over the bill now that Consolidating Power Company bought my employer. They handle everything. So, it all runs through your electricity bill now. You can pay it back in full on your next billing cycle, or you can get on an energy credit payment plan. You'd have to call Consolidated for more detail about that. I don't really understand how it works. Something about generating electricity to send back into the grid? Oh, one more thing. Don't be alarmed if you experience any side effects of the Neuropinol TM. Typically, we see daydreaming, déjà vu, pensiveness, fugue states, irregular perception of time. About 15% of patients report a generalized sensation of lateness. There's nothing to be alarmed about, just keep it in mind. Yeah, thanks for your help. Julian's outside. We can head back to your truck. So this is sort of like a hallmark of magical realism, right? Is literalization of perception. So I think what we're literalizing there in the leg is the idea of a thing being taken from you by debt, or like the things you trade to be well in a society that is largely run on debt. Given the appearance of the guy at the end of the play and what he represented there and everything. So how are the drugs treating you? You know, that streetlight doesn't really seem all that bright. Yeah, I bet Conway doesn't like to take medicine, doesn't like to complain, likes to pretend everything's fine even when it's very much not. No, it's good for you. He's a doctor, right? I know what you mean, though. My folks had a peculiar relationship with medicine. We almost never had a regular doctor or health insurance or anything like that. Our immigration stuff was a mess for most of my childhood, so we only qualified for state programs in small patches before something or other would get contested. We just learned to pile on dentist appointments and stuff in those short windows. If a cut got infected or her migraines were too much to handle, Mom would talk to so-and-so who knew so-and-so, usually another minor, and end up with some pills. And instead of medical advice, every pill came with gossipy anecdotal warnings and superstitions, like all this lore that came with it. Like magic. Dangerous, mysterious. And Weaver's folks couldn't help? Yeah, they had pretty good health care through the university for a while there. A couple times they'd swing something, so I got a bit of whatever Weaver needed. In high school, Weaver got these pills to help her focus. She was so smart, but always going off in different directions, mind racing, like 5 conversations going on in her head at once, and you're lucky if even one of them is with someone in the room, you know? I actually do know. That sounds real familiar. So she had these pills, and they seemed to help. I was struggling in school too, failing my history class. She offered to share the pills. And did it help? At first, yeah, it helped a lot, actually. I had a kind of presence and clarity of purpose well, I've never really had otherwise. I didn't want to stop taking them. One day I was sitting on my bed, my notebook was open next to me on top of a textbook, and I was holding a pen in my hand. I remembered this moment from several years before. It came up so suddenly, with such precision, that I couldn't put it out of my mind. I felt I had to stay with it until I'd recalled the whole thing perfectly. And it was just a tiny nothing moment. My mom patching up the side of a bird cage, winding some spare wire around the frame to reinforce it. And I was fixated on that image and that sound. The cage kind of bending and twanging as she worked on it, rapping and nodding, scraping copper against paint like bowing a rubber violin with a railroad tie. My parents came back from a triple shift and found me still sitting there on the edge of the bed, pen in hand, delirious with thirst, patching that birdcage with a 1,000-year stare. 1,000-yard stare, which is a real thing, as opposed to a 1,000-year stare, which is nothing. Yeah, I've heard those pills can have quite an effect. I'm a little afraid of them myself, frankly. You get some rest back there? I don't feel much rested myself. We'll get a break, though. Maybe tomorrow, huh? I could hear the dog in real life going a little nuts in the other room, almost as if in response. I shouldn't have used the talking to the dog tone. You could hear that a mile away. Well, I mean, the good news is I can run again. Let's just enjoy that for a moment here. Let's really fill the space. And I really like the reflections. Also, Ezra wants to run around with us. You having fun? Oh, hold on. He's just taking off. I guess he's leading. I'm gonna chase him. Ripples in the water are a nice effect. Okay, he just wants to splash. I guess let's get back on the road. I definitely shouldn't drive. I'm still not 100% sure if my leg is literal or not, which is going to make it hard to use it on the gas pedal. So, what's the plan here? I could use a bite to eat. We haven't eaten since the beginning of the game, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, you've been on the road a while. Well, there's an all-night convenience store not too far from here. Is that okay? That sounds good to me. Okay, we can take 31 heading east. It's right before 65. 31 east before 65. I'm going to remember that. There's like a 10% chance I'm going to remember that. It's fine. It'll be in the notebook. If it's important, it will be in the notebook. Also, yeah, I don't know what is going on in the other room. The dog is having a hell of a time. So is Julian gonna follow us, or... Uh-oh. The truck's engine sputters and dies as Conway guides it carefully off the road next to a fallen tree. Well, so much for it outliving all of us. Wow, that looks bad. How much electricity have we seen in the area? I guess a lot of places... Well, we visited a lot of places during the day, and the church had a sign out front that was still on. Maybe this hasn't actually disrupted the power? Some of the lines sure look broken, though. Maybe I can plug my leg in. Well, what are we going to do about this? Nothing to be done? I don't know. Can you take a look at it? I guess I could poke around in there, but I don't know a damn thing about engines. Wait, is this why you always leave your truck running? Just superstitious. Right. Any other quirks I should know about? Never eat while walking. Well, I guess at your age. Anyway, do you know this area? Anyone around here that could give us a hand? I did drive past here yesterday. Oh? What were you doing out here yesterday? That tree. That bog. Are you sure this is the tree? What kind of tree was it? Willow, I think. I guess that could be a willow. I don't know much about trees. This is not a willow. Hey, we should call someone. Do you know a good towing company? Choices like this are so interesting. My bet is that there's no difference between these options in terms of, like, what happens next probably doesn't change at all. So how do you make a decision like this that's meaningless? Why is it harder to make a decision that's meaningless? Lucky Boot Collision and Towing. I don't much like Boot, but Lucky sounds good. Lucky Boot. Alright, I'll give him a call. Hope I can get a signal out here. Shannon speaks into the large brick cell phone held up to her ear. Hi, hello. We've got an old, I want to say diesel? Old truck just stalled out. The person on the other end sounds sleepy. They probably don't get a lot of business out here, you know? Oh, did I wake you? Your card says open 23 hours a day. They might be mad about being woken up. No, let's say this person is professional, they're trying to be helpful, they just want to know what's going on. Yeah, that's why I'm calling, exactly. That's all. Apologetic is a bad sign. Forceful? What do they have to be forceful about? Let's try obtuse. I'm a little concerned that inaudible apologetic might end with the truck not getting towed, so let's not click that one. That's... okay, look. We need to get back on the road here, and I'm sure you're busy too. Oh, I wish I was busy. Well, I'm very sorry to interrupt that, but... Neighborly's good, right? They're more likely to help us if they're neighborly. Unless you're getting into some of that, like, Minnesota nice. Yeah, neighborly. We already ate. As soon as you can get out here, we're off 65 somewhere, just kind of pulled up by this tree that fell over. Specific. Professionals are specific. That's actually a pretty accurate description of it, yeah. Hanging over the power lines, just like that. Did you see it go down? Indulgent? How would you answer this question in an indulgent fashion? Assertive. Yes, I did see it go down. Okay, look, whatever you need to do. How long do you think you'll be? Silence is bad. No, it's all bad. Shoot, none of this is what I want. Radio music, because the person at the phone is leaning away to talk to the driver, and the radio's playing in the background. Okay, we crafted the version of that situation that I think is most likely to result in us actually getting to leave. Let's talk to Ezra. Also, he should probably not actually be in that tree. Are you bored? No, not yet. Okay. To me, you look a little bored. Hey, let's play a game. Yeah, what would you like to play? Well, we can tell the future with this little tree branch. It's pretty easy. We just break off all the little sticks on each section and count through the different things that could happen. Okay. What should we ask? It should be about you. I can't do both the counting out and the questions. Oh, no, obviously. How will I travel in the future, now that it looks like this truck is dead? Ezra snaps the smaller branches away, one at a time, counting out possibilities. Motorbike, motorboat, horseback, hearse, old truck, new truck. Oh, new truck. These other branches are too bare. Don't worry about it too much. It's just a bunch of sticks. I mean, new truck sounds alright. What do you think about new truck, Blue? Yeah, I wish Julian wasn't so busy right now. Guess he's got a lot of houses to carry. Oh, that's how the houses are getting moved. Right, that makes sense. That's what he was carrying past us in the background when we were on the roof of the museum. He was moving houses. Ah, well, I guess it's not so bad. I mean, it seems calm and pleasant enough here, right? I like hanging out with you folks anyway. Conway didn't actually ask Shannon what they said, which probably would be a smart thing to do. I think they're on their way. I guess we have some time to kill. Now we could look over the road map again. I've stared at that thing too long already. Where'd you get that old map, anyway? Huh, it's just always been in the truck. Huh, someone must have grabbed it at a gas station somewhere along the line. Or maybe they threw it in the glove box at the dealership. When my parents bought their first car here, it came with a map. I used to sit in the back and pore over it. Aunt Remedia saw me looking at it, I guess, and a few days later she gave me a map she'd brought from Colombia. It looked almost hand-painted. Deep, vibrant colors and rough border lines like anxious brushstrokes. It was really pretty. I'd slowly trace the coastline with my finger, like I was walking on the beach, and say, here we'll swim, here we'll start a fire, here we'll find a cave in the cliff face and go live among the bats for a while. I think I'll take a look at that radio of yours. Maybe I can get it going again. No point just standing around. Yeah, the radio might still work, I guess. I mean, the headlights are still going, so... You know, that thing's been broken for years. I imagine Conway probably drives in silence a lot. So we'll get to find out what station you had it tuned to when it went out. A snapshot of a younger man's tastes. You remember what it was? Probably Conway... I don't think Conway listens to talk radio. Well, I'm sure we'll find something to listen to on the road. Kind of figured it was going to start playing some music. She's supposed to be pretty handy, right? It's taking control away from me. Oh. Let's look at the sky. Hey, where are we staying tonight? Oh, Junebug. I don't know, I'll figure something out. Yeah, I know you will. Maybe it'd be nice to stay outside one of these nights. You know, power down just enough to rest, but keep an eye on the stars. Be there when the birds wake up. Yeah, sounds romantic. Oh, I'm a real romantic. Lucky me. Probably pay attention to the road ahead. That seems like the responsible thing to do. How far out are we? I don't know, 20 minutes? Try not to be an asshole on our first experience with this new character. Damn, Harry's not going to be happy. You know, he doesn't like me anyway. Well, I'll tell him about the frog. He won't understand. Everybody loves a good story about a frog. Let's keep talking to Johnny. I'd imagine it'd be hard to talk while you're riding him, but, like, it's probably a lot of wind noise and stuff, right? More than all the silver and... I don't know what... I can't sing that. I don't know what tune that is. Yeah, you should have been a poet. I'll leave poetry to the professionals. You nervous about the set? Yeah, I guess. Nah, we're good. We know how to play, just... Then what? Well, just hang out at the bar, I guess. Oh yeah, Harry'll be great company. Carping about the late nights and his bottom line. So, the play must have been based on something real that happened, right? Or it must have been based on real people that, what's-her-name knew. Wait, maybe we should break? Should we consider breaking? They look like they could use some help. Yeah, you gonna fix it up for him, Johnny? Oh, I don't know a wrench from a cattle prod. I thought maybe you? I guess it's up to some good Samaritan. Yeah, okay, we'll help them. Ah, you're the best. And hey, maybe if they're not busy, they can fill some seats at the gig. You know, if no one's there, Harry will try and bilk us on our fee. Seems like the decent thing to do, to go back and help, right? If I were to happen across a person uh, in the dark, in the middle of nowhere like this, you'd like to think I'd stop. Was that him? Going pretty fast, whoever they were. Oh, I bet they're getting chased by something. Well, maybe they just have somewhere important to be. Definitely getting chased by something. Now, see, Ezra, you fool? Also, what could possibly be more important than meeting a new dog? Alright, stay here. Careful, he's wicked with strangers. Ha! You... Don't shoo them away. You here to clear the tree? You hear that, Cricket? You better get the chainsaw out. Who'll pay to gas it up? That's a good question. These folks seem to have a certain handle on the situation. So, won't the state cover that? Sure, something like that. Listen, we got two questions for you folks. What kind of people do you take us for? I mean, how do we strike you? Not sure I follow. What kind of temperament do you think we have? Like, what kind of work would you say we do? Well, given your haircut, some kind of art thing, maybe? It may be. She's the artist. I'm just an entertainer. Now, here's another question for you. Do you like music? Yeah, do you like music? I don't like music, but I do like sounds. Nope, never mind. Yeah, of course you do. Say, they should come to our gig. Oh, what an idea. Well, we're waiting for a tow. A tow? I won't hear about it. This time of night, you'll be kicking your heels till dawn. We'll fix your truck up. Me and Johnny are a couple of regular gearheads. Why, I just put a new cylinder block in this baby over here. What is the name? The Vicious Cycle is an extremely good name for a rock and roll motorcycle. I don't think we can not pick that. That's what we call our bike. We call it the Vicious Cycle. It's pretty tough, huh? And we'll get you fixed up quick so you can come to the gig. See, we have a regular booking tonight, and, well, we're running late. Very late. Well, that's what I told them. Now the old man who runs this venue, Harry Esperanza, is a notorious withholder. So if we don't get a few bodies in the crowd, well, he'll go all penny pinching on us. It's just a short set. We only have one song prepared. It is a short set. You'll come to the gig, won't you? We really don't have time. I don't imagine this is the sort of thing Conway would be into. I want to say this because I want to go to the gig, but if we're sticking in character, yeah, we really don't have time. Ah, of course they will. Can you believe we almost didn't stop? Hey, you hungry, old lady? I think I've got a crust at the sidecar here. But Johnny here saw you folks were in trouble. Well, it's all said and done. We stopped. That's all that matters. So our gig's at an old tavern called the Lower Depths. It's over there by old Charlie Moran Highway, just east off 65. We usually take a right off the interstate around the petting zoo. Johnny likes the petting zoo. I do like the petting zoo. Now, let's see about that truck of yours. I feel certain we can get it running. That's a pretty tall amount of certainty there, without having any idea what's wrong with it. But I guess they did. I wonder if they'll get upset with us if we don't take the right route. I kind of want to stop off at Equus. Listen, I know you're real late, but we're just gonna, real quick. I gotta check in on something here. Okay, that's pretty much what I was wondering, was were we going to be able to meet Carrington again? Let's go have a quick word with Carrington. Ah, so glad you stopped by. I've been standing here alone, waiting for my cast and crew, and I'm afraid very little can be done in their absence. I've just been watching. The highway with its occasional limping truck, the trees oscillating in the night breeze, the shadows, and visualizing the performance against this nocturnal backdrop. Well, I suppose it is the business of a cast and crew to be late, just as it is the business of a director to visualize. It's all becoming very clear to me. This venue will be perfect, a triumph. I wonder, do you ever feel as though you've arrived after? After what? Just after, I suppose. After Orestia, after Faustus, after Iceman. What's your most treasured stage production, my friend? Yeah, Conway. I bet Conway's seen a play. I saw The Glass Menagerie once. Oh, tell me about it. That sounds to me like the sort of thing he would do to impress a girl on a date. The sort of thing he would think of as fancy. Yeah, I took a friend on a date. I sneaked in a flask, but I got caught. An escape to the theater or the bars. Or why not both? So, that said, I have my vision for the transformation of this venue, but it's all still unsettled in potential while we wait for the cast and crew to arrive. So, tell me, what do you think? Where should the actors perform? Where should the audience sit? Well, actors in the parking lot and the audience by the gas pumps is kind of the opposite of what I was going to say, because the actors should be near the lights, right? Well, why not just put them both together? Interesting. To collapse the audience-performer hierarchy, at least spatially. Yes, I think you're right. How bold! You've given me a great deal to think about, friends, and it seems I'll have time yet to consider it all. Well, surely the cast and crew will arrive within the hour, and we'll begin constructing the set and arranging the lights. I hope you can come by again to see me before the show, but I understand you have your own tasks to carry out. Just remember, the death of the hired man, Equus Oils, dawn. I do want to see the play. I guess while we're here, it would be rude not to say hey to Joseph. Truck sounds like it's running kind of rough there. Better keep an eye on it. Yeah, we're all running a little rough these days. Well, that's you and me, anyway. Closer to the finish than the start. Seems it gets a little bumpier as you go, huh? Yeah, let's talk to him about Lula. Yeah, we met a friend of yours named Lula. Oh, yeah, I should have guessed you would. Did she say anything about me? I think it would kind of bum him out if we told him what she said about him, so let's just not really. Oh, well, I guess that was a long time ago. Hey, do you have any games on your computer? Hey, you know what? I might. My niece works nights at the hospital, and she swung by for a lunch break an hour or two ago. She's kind of, she doesn't talk a whole lot, but I like her company. I heard her typing away in there. You might take a look. That's exactly what I was hoping for. An excuse to go inside and play with the computer. You know, I hear there's going to be a show in the morning. So there is. I'll have to put on some more coffee. Well, we'd better get going, because I need to ransack all your belongings and try to sneak into your basement again. We could turn off the light without it being a problem, because my light will probably illuminate the whole place. Conway taps the key, waking the computer from its reverie. Let's... Last time we hit games, it said games were not real. Let's see if that's changed. Directory listing for games. Psychotherapist, Sports Medicine Professional 1973. Those are... boy. Those don't sound like great games to me. Let's try Sports Medicine Professional. Loading, Sports Medicine Professional 1973. Ready, run. February 1973. Status, Senior. GPA 3.8. Affect, bored. Well... I mean, if I'm holding down a 3.8, it seems like maybe I don't need to study. I might have things under control here. Why don't we explore the forest? It's raining. Mud is everywhere on the wings of owls and the jowls of stray dogs. Borrowing shelter with other mammals and then waking up late, damp and cold. Waiting for the bus with other mammals. March 1973. Status: hiker. GPA 3.8. Affect: bored. I didn't mean to explore the forest for an entire month. I should probably study. So we spent a month just hanging out in the forest and sleeping with owls and stray dogs. That's like a pretty momentous decision, it feels like. Maybe we should study a little bit. Just make sure we're not missing out on anything. Sudden or repeated hyperextension of the big toe can cause a sprain in the ligaments around the joint, a painful injury known as turf toe. April 1973. Status: hiker. GPA 3.85. Affect: bored. I'm still bored. Well, you know what will make me less bored is hanging out with some stray dogs in the forest. Thick tree coverage soaks up every vapor of light pollution. The skies are uncomplicated, black and white, mumbling stars. An owl decimates a caravan of mice. Yeah, that's what they do. May 1973, status: spelunker. GPA 3.85. I wonder if our status would... Oh, hold on. It's time to make a decision. Do we graduate, hitchhike, or live in a tree? This is kind of a false dichotomy, although I guess it's a false trichotomy. There've got to be other options, right? We should probably graduate. I'm not necessarily opposed to living in a tree or hitchhiking cross-country, but I feel like we could do those after graduation, right? Everyone says it was a smart decision, but it wasn't. Lost pills, misjudged affairs, forged prescriptions, disgrace. Score 3.85. I would like to play that game again. Hold on a second. I think we can do better. So what happens if we just explore the forest? We're not going to study at all. It seems like school was a bad move. I had that experience my own self. We're going to explore the forest at every opportunity. Seasonably cold, and the mouth of the cave is surrounded by small broken sticks from a recent storm. If they weren't so damp, or spread so thin and unevenly, they'd be a fire hazard. Maybe if they were all piled up in the cave to dry for a few weeks, they'd spark and smoke the bats out. Status: druid. Hey, we're doing it. Yeah, explore the forest. I'm kind of curious if I'm going to end up with status spelunker again here. Or if it'll be different, because we explored the forest more. Yeah, okay, it's stuck at druid. I'm going to live in a tree, because that seems like a druidy thing to do. It's a good tree. Strong. The branches are bare. Sleep upright. Brush teeth with dew and moss. Makes sense for once. Score: druid. Is druid higher or lower than 3.85? You know what? I've been to school. Druid is higher. I mean... Hold on. We're going to do this one more time. So I'm going to study real hard, but then we're going to go hitchhiking across the country instead of graduating. The anterior cruciate ligament is one of the two major ligaments in the knee, and is a particularly common but devastating site of injury. Interesting. That made us a druid. Status senior. Wait, was our status senior the first time? I guess the first time I explored, before I did anything else, right? So... Well, no, but you get a status at the beginning of the game. What was our status on the first run? I don't think it was senior. It was before it was hiker. No, okay, it totally was senior. I just have a very, very poor memory. Like, shockingly poor. To the point where you would think it would affect my life. Maybe it has, and I just, forgot that it did. Sudden or repeated hyperextension of the big toe. Yeah, turf toe. Still a druid. Maybe it remembers me being a druid from run to run, but I was a senior before. Let's study again. Strains of the rotator cuff tendons can be very painful and may require the prescription of pain-relieving medicine in addition to rest and icing. Still status druid. Our GPA is a little higher than it was. You really get diminishing returns on studying, though. I guess that's true to life. Alright, screw graduating. We're going to hitchhike cross-country. The road is dry. Road dirt encrusts the nostril. Settle inland, eventually. Frustrated. Score, bored. That seems bad. I think we just failed this novel. Seems like the only way to go through life and be happy is to be a druid. Let's try psychotherapist. Maybe this is going to be like Eliza. I am the psychotherapist. Please, describe your problems. I'm lost. You enjoy being lost? Well, I used to enjoy it, yeah. That's quite interesting. I'd like to try an exercise now. Please, close your eyes and ask another person to read the following text aloud. It's summer. You're sitting in a very long hall on a backless stool. The seat is upholstered in fake leather, slick with condensation. You shift your weight uncomfortably. At the other end of the very long hall, a ceiling fan beats out the rhythm of seconds. The air in the very long hall is still. You need a shave. You feel 3 rough whiskers curled over your upper lip. You shift your weight on the slick leather seat and exhale gently to displace the 3 rough whiskers curled over your upper lip. The very long hall is silent, except for the ceiling fan beating out the rhythm of seconds, and the noise of your breath as you exhale gently to displace the 3 rough whiskers curled over your upper lip. Your tongue is burned. Perhaps you drank some coffee too quickly within the last several days. Your mouth is dry, and the lights are slowly dimming. Oh, it says I'm not supposed to read this part aloud? Okay, it's over. That's very curious. It's over, and I'm not allowed to play it again. Huh. I guess that's it for games. Well, we may as well snoop on messages while we're here. Message 1 is from helpdesk at rustarchives.mail. Is that the message we saw before? Dear Mr. Wheattree, the articles you've requested have been retrieved from storage and are ready for examination. They will be held at your convenience in our primary branch until the end of the month. rustarchives.mail. You may visit us between sundown and sunrise at our night facility. We are an easy 3 gestures from the Bureau. Clockwise to the anchor, counterclockwise to the whirlpool, then briefly clockwise. Regards. Okay, that's interesting. We're definitely going to have to check that out. What about message 2? Accounts. Dear Equus Oils, this is an urgent automated message regarding your overdue account. Current account status is dire. Hey, I've received messages like this. New resolution options are available to you in one of our in-person account resolution centers. To ensure your account is resolved without interruption, visit us at your convenience. From the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces, head clockwise for quite some time until you reach the Scarecrow. Then turn around and go back to the Bat Feeder. Turn around and it's a short clockwise drive on your right. Sincerely, your friends at the Consolidated Power Co. Alright, well, we'll definitely have to check into both of those. And then I guess we're done here? I wonder if I'll be allowed to go back into the basement. It looks like no. I'm just very curious if those people would appear at the table again. Well, I guess we'd better get back to it. Doesn't seem like there's much else to do here. I was kind of hoping we would show up and the play would already be happening. They do not, in fact, want to stay any longer. We got lots of stuff to do, and I'm real nervous with the truck being stopped that it's never going to start again. Okay, so the thing we were supposed to be doing was staying on 31 and turning just before 65, right? Is that right? Can we... no, not this. Take the 31 heading east. It's just before 65. So actually... Yeah, okay. I was going to say, actually, we must almost be there. The convenience store is just a tiny booth in the middle of the lot that must have once been an active gas station. The light in the booth is on. Well, let's approach then. Conway approaches a window. The inside of the booth is big enough for a card table, 2 chairs, and a few plastic crates filled with snacks and warm Coke. 2 men shuffle plastic dominoes across the table. Is there a door? Is there a way inside? Conway looks around for a door. He finds a sliding service window on the far side of the booth, the kind that can slide in and out of the booth without allowing anyone to reach in and make a grab for the register. I guess we should probably, talk to the attendants here before just throwing money at them. Conway raps his knuckles on the service window. One of the men sends his partner an exasperated glance, then returns his attention to the game. Wow. Well, I don't know that I do want to give them money. I'm concerned that they're not going to give me anything in return. I guess let's find out. Conway puts a few dollars through the service window. One of the men lets out a vexed sigh. Without standing or turning his eyes away from the game, he reaches into a plastic crate and retrieves a small blue bag, distractedly pushing it through the service window. Chips, or something? The bag is illustrated with a cartoon drawing of an avocado, but the nutritional data suggests it's pretty sugary. The expiration date has been worn away. Well, that's not a great sign. Hold on, this is not the place I was trying to... The lower depths is just east off 65. Take a right off 65 around the petting zoo. I had the whole thing reversed here. Okay. So, petting zoo. Did we see a petting zoo before? There's the tree. Hold on a second. Farmhouse just has an eye here. The farmhouse is silent and empty. The barn is still gone. So is the cave. A few horses graze in the empty field. Interesting that we're not allowed to stop off. Was there a petting zoo here before? The petting zoo is closed. Well, alright. Not a big surprise. Alright, I'm with you. I'm coming. They got a little impatient with us there. Oh good, hard times served here. This probably does not feel much like home to Conway, I think. I don't think our Conway is a big drinker. This doesn't feel right. The deep pit. You know, I wonder sometimes if I'm really up here, or still down below. Given what's happened to us, I can see how you might wonder such a thing. Anything on the other side of the road? Just forest, it looks like. Kinda late. Are you sure they're open? Oh, sure they're open. This is one of those places. I guess let's head on in. We are not saints, but we've kept our appointment. How many people can boast as much? Oh, that's lovely, ma'am. Who said it? A poet. It was probably Johnny. On a previous day that he does not remember on account of his hobbies, you know. Ma'am, I hate to say it, but the cupboard is bare. Have some vision, Cricket. We've got 1, 2, 4 patrons. Harry doesn't count. Well, we've done more with less. So, do you play here often? We have a regular thing here. Harry likes to just book it all up and forget about it. He's not really a music lover, I wouldn't say, but I guess his wife was? She had the stage put in, I know that. So he keeps it going, in her memory or out of habit. Curious how much real-world Harry is going to be... Well, I mean, looks similar. The bar looks similar. Space behind the space behind the, I guess, opposite the bar, not so much, but I guess, you know, that's to be expected. Is this one of those sandwiches with a brick in the middle? It sure looks like it is. A rough brick between 2 pieces of stale bread sits in the center of the table, surrounded by a ring of undisturbed dust. We'd better not interrupt the ritual. There are goggles just sitting on the table. Are these someone's goggles? Can they be mine? A bulky set of black goggles sit on the edge of the table next to an ashtray, a newspaper, and a few empty glasses. Huh. What is it? I guess... I don't know? Listen, can I tell you a horrible secret? I never wear eye protection in the shop. It's dangerous, I know, but I'm always looking back and forth from my oscilloscope to whatever I'm working on, and the scope has this peculiar kind of hard-bordered glow that I just... Well, I've never found a pair of goggles or glasses that doesn't smear out that glow. At best, the lens softens everything so you can't quite find the edges. Huh. Well, do you want to take these goggles to... No? Okay. Alright, fine. Be that way. I guess we won't steal these. Ezra flips eagerly through the jukebox's catalog of songs. So what do you think? I don't know how to play this game. That's alright, kid. Jukebox is the worst kind of game. You put in money and everybody loses. All I'm pouring tonight is Hard Times whiskey. You got any coffee going? No coffee. Hard Times whiskey. Hey, shut the GD door, would you? I can't afford to run the AC all night. Did they always make that noise when they walked? Are Johnny and Junebug robots? Sorry, Harry. Oh, it's you two. Where have you been? Never mind. Listen, I can't keep this place open through the small hours of the night just waiting for musicians. And where is everyone? Everybody had to, clear out. Let's get set up, huh? So wait a minute. Was the play about tonight? Were we in the future seeing a play that had been written about the events of tonight? Are they going to be momentous enough to deserve that? There's nobody here to listen to it. I can't pay for... And we brought some people, Harry. A crowd is forming. Yeah, but also we should not ask this. This is going to have a bad answer. Couldn't you use a break, Harry? Well, been on my feet all day. But I guess I was hearing that noise at Equus Oils. I kind of assumed it was the truck that was making that noise. You know, they did say they were gearheads. I suppose that could be why. Although, June said they were gearheads. I thought she was just lying to us on account of we had already heard Johnny say that thing about not knowing about wrenches. How's it looking out there? How are y'all feeling tonight? Can we get a bit more reverb in the monitors? Harry adjusts the soundboard behind the bar. How's that? Test. 1, 1, 1, 3, 50. Lamentation. Lamentation. Yeah, sounds good. So, how's everybody doing? Anybody had a real bad night? How about you, old man? Yeah, it's been pretty bad, actually. Try not to complain, but it's like, this is a record breaker. Well, we'll try not to make it too much worse. This is a song I heard in a tavern many years ago at an open mic night. Me and Johnny were out just riding around, you know? You like to drive around, old man? Well, it's my job. Of course you do. So, we were out riding around, and we passed this gaudy old tavern. I mean, it was a real dive. Busted up facade, weeds in the parking lot, taps all dry, bats in the barroom, and run by this creaky bag of bones. Looked like the only thing keeping him awake was the fear of death. So glad to be back here at the lower depths. Hey now. So, we stopped for an early drink, and there was a lady singing right here on stage. And the song she sang, well, it stuck with us, and now it's a regular part of our repertoire. Never got that lady's name. She seemed like a sweet gal, and she had a voice like Scotch whiskey, and we just hope to do her song justice. So here it is. Too Late to Love You. I'm going to tell you guys right now, performing an impromptu one-man play is one thing, I am not going to sing. Although it seems like maybe it's not that kind of song. Oh. Like I said, I'm not going to sing. I thought this was a verse that was playing out, and I was wondering what's going to take so long, but apparently we have to pick. So y'all can just imagine what this song would sound like in your head as we pick. So the title of the song was Too Late for Love, huh? I never should have met you. Feels like the sort of way that this story might start. Well, I'll be honest with you. Maybe this is me being kind of judgmental, but based on the way they look, I really wasn't expecting their music to be quite so blondie. Also, really glad that the game decided to handle the singing for me. There's a little bit more scene to handle here, but I think that's maybe actually a pretty good breaking point. Let's call it there for today. This is a very strange thing. I'm trying not to say that 10 times an episode. It keeps being strange. I hope you all are enjoying it as much as I am. I have some... Listen, we'll talk some more about my thoughts on weird narrative experiences and stuff tomorrow, maybe, once I've had time to gather them. I was about to start talking without actually knowing what all I was going to say, which has not usually turned out well for me in the past. That's going to be it for us for today, is what I was saying. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time, tomorrow, for maybe an explanation of what all those noises are when they walk around. We'll see you then.